that makes sense. I mean, it would be difficult because we're kind of in an arms race right now, so to speak, right? I mean, like the adversaries are evolving as quickly, if not quicker, than the defenses, right? Like, deep fakes have been around for a while, but there's been a lot of different, gaps and loopholes and ways around any sort of protection that was made available until, a platform like yours came along and, it's actually able to detect when a deep fake is going on, right? I mean, that's the impressive part, but you got to think about the time frame in between when your solution came along and when deep fakes were being used. Like I remember when deep fakes, came out. I think it might have been towards the end of Obama's term, second term. And, they proved that it was viable by having him do like a State of the Union address, right? And it was completely fake. And it's like we're kind of playing a different ball game right now. The genie's out of the bottle on this one. This is not good for that capability to exist necessarily. To kind of circle back to what you said, right? The solution probably is not correct to restrict it in some way. Like the bad guys are going to find a way to get their hands on it. Like they already have it. You can't tell me that they don't have that technology in house on a homegrown system, that is probably secured, probably heavily redundant and whatnot, right? So there's no restricting it. You're only going to be hindering what I can do to protect at that point.
That's 100% right. I mean, look, there's over 2 million different models now available on Hugging Face. And, a person can download those models, throw it these days on a high end smartphone is probably good enough to run a lot of stuff, right? So I don't even need a computer, which means, it's truly a global available thing now and do all sorts of stuff. So I think that, and obviously the models are getting so cheap too. It used to be an issue around the level of processing speed you had or access to be able to run the compute to do some of these things, which is why you saw it more in state or organized crime, state actors, organized crime. But now we're quickly crossing lots of points here. I mean, how fast is Gemini now? How fast are some of these tools now? And you're asking for things and things that used to take a few minutes to render are now rendering in seconds. And I think we all know what that means in the next year. It means that it's all going to be real time, right? So in that world where it's all real time, man, oh man, this stuff's going to get pretty wild. And I also just think the ability to do it at unlimited scale, kind of similar to how email spam worked. We still get tons of email spam, right? They're not doing that for fun. A certain amount of it still works, right? A lot of it works. A lot of it gets through, and we're going to see the same over deepfake, over phone, over SMS, and they're going to keep tweaking it to make it more and more effective.
So on the back end, are you essentially training your model on all of those other models like as they become available and trying to, learn how to detect it better?
I mean, on the back end, I think you just have to be constantly updating the tool set that you're using and playing with the new stuff because it is pretty wild how every couple weeks some new model will come out and you'll say, man, this issue that we were running into on the prior model and there was only a 90% confidence interval for a certain issue or whatever it might be. Now well, that's not even a problem anymore. So I think that's something else that we're trying to always stay on top of those changes.